Good morning, everyone. I just made my coffee with Carnation Instant Breakfast and gonna try to enjoy that for a little bit and then get dressed. It was a really cold night. Didn't really sleep much. Heard coyotes quite often, and seeing as I'm next to the trailhead in the bathroom, there's quite a number of people stopping and going to the bathroom. And between that, the coyotes, and being cold, it was 32 degrees last I saw, but hopefully it'll be warming up soon and I'll get this coffee and Carnation Instant Breakfast into me and tear down camp and be on the way. Check in with you later. And good morning, everyone. I'm up here at the Pine Trailhead getting ready to sign the register, and you can see a lot of frost on the registry. So it did get pretty cold last night. Here's the Arizona Trail. And let's open this up. All right, we're on the trail. Just thought it was interesting that they have a little sit-down spot right there. Okay, so got off to a very good start. I'm looking for this Oak Springs Trail, number 16. And right where I had filmed this earlier, I kept going down this trail, which just went back to the bathroom and back up to the trailhead. And what I wanted was this little thing that you really don't even particularly notice. So, a little sidetrack excursion. Get back on trail now. And like I said before, I will stop recording a little bit so that I can. That's interesting. Somebody had a campfire right here. I guess there's some pretty good tent spots around here. That's a little bit canted, but right here wouldn't be too bad. But like I said, I will shut this down here in a moment and turn it back on when I get to walkthrough built by Troop 274 in Tempe, Arizona. Thank you, Boy Scouts. Mighty fine job. All right. I'm assuming that's the trail. Oh boy. This is going to be an interesting hike. Anyway, catch you again in a little bit. Okay, so I have made it the first half mile, and I'm about ready to go through a gate. So let's head up here to the road then. think that you're gonna go straight. You don't. I've gone a lot more south than west. So the actual Arizona Trail crossing with 87 is pretty far south of the actual entrance for vehicles to the Pine Trailhead itself. And here we are. So, all clear. All right, that is task number 1 for today. So the goal originally was going to get about 3 or 4 miles in yesterday, late, to a spring and camp, but I didn't get up to the Pine Trailhead until pretty late. So that means to get to the spring that I wanted to for today, it's about an 18-mile hike. Not sure if I can do that. The longest I've done is 12. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear. I did start at 7:30. All right, so at 2:51 is what we want for a little while. So that's just 3 miles to that. And all of these are because these forest areas do have livestock free roaming. So that's why we have gates. There are a few along the Appalachian Trail, but those are mostly, I believe, in the private lands where people have private animals, but I may be wrong. And I'm not sure about the PCT, if there's any of those. So, all right, check back with you again, maybe when I get to that trailhead at 3 miles. All right, sorry about the red face. It's cold and I'm starting to work up quite a sweat. So pretty soon I'll have to start taking off my puffy and my rain pants. So I just met a really nice couple. They were also parked up at the Pine Trailhead. Her name is Pearl, and I'm sorry I did not remember his name, but they are doing the same stretch that I'm doing, down to Sunflower. So it'll be nice to have some people on the trail. They're not too sure how far that they're going to get. They said that they've been doing it for a while, and they have a motorcycle parked down there in Sunflower. So when they get down there, he'll hop on the motorcycle and come back up to the Pine Trailhead, get the camper, and go and pick her up. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Anyway, I'll check back in with you in a little while. And shortly past the road walk and the power lines, and I'll be coming up to the power lines again soon, we have an obstacle. And there's an awful lot of water, and I think on gut hooks, they said that it's kind of seeping out of the ground. But I think some people did go over that. I'm gonna try to go around. Alright, not too bad for first obstacle. Tree just snapped off. I don't know if it was wind or what it was. Back on the trail. So this is 16. Do this for a while until I get to that walnut trail. Check back in with you again in a minute. Okay, so I just did my first water crossing. I went a little bit through that area, and the water is flowing pretty good through there, and it does look pretty clear. I'm debating on whether or not to get some water here. Okay, right after Pine Creek and my losing that ski tip and screwing it back on, I climbed one heck of a hill. I'll have to look up later about how much of a climb it was, but here we've got a sign, please close the gate. But we actually have a walk over here. Trying to get rid of my walking stick so I can grab the rail, just in case. Good thing I did grab the rail because the sketchy part's going down. Whew. Yeah, so at the Pine Creek, I did get rid of my puffy as well as my rain pants. So, feeling a lot better. It was about 1.79 miles when I checked it at Pine Creek, and it was 8:30. So in about an hour, not quite 2 miles, but I did, go around in a circle, trying to find the trail, cross the road, stop and talk to a couple of people. So I think I'm gonna put away the phone. Gorgeous day up here. But to navigate this, I'm gonna put away the phone. And this is just an animal tank. Pretty full. Be difficult to get there to it though. She got barbed wire fence. But the animals have got plenty to drink on that side. And here's the trail. So I just used the gut hook GPS locator, snapped a shot of where I was at, and I might be able to post that right around here, so stay tuned for that. But short little clip through the Gambelope and junipers, some ponderosa pines. All right, would you tent that? So maybe over here. Hello. It's not too bad, I guess. Worst comes to worst. So maybe I'm about a quarter of a mile from the trailhead. Seen a lot of people. 3 people just passed me. They were going up to the spring. Probably gonna turn around and go back. Oh. Another installment of Would You Tent That? All kinds of tenting areas. And it looks like something possibly we have a book and a pen, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill it out. Pretty cool. All right, I just came around a corner and looked up and was, wow. There's a lot of snow up there. And I do believe that that is where I'm heading. So I just passed 358.7 on the Gut Hooks app, and there was a box, bear type container, maybe even a popcorn type container, with a composition book in it for people to leave a comment. And I think there was a toy in there, maybe a poop trash bag or something like that. Anyway, I left a packet of tuna and a couple of power bars. I don't think I'll miss those items. I think I have plenty. I have like 7-8 days worth of food for a 4 to 5 day hike. So, but just coming around that and seeing that snow, I'm like, oh well, it is what it is. So I'm gonna get off of here and I'll check in later. And I finally made it to the trailhead. It's almost 11 o'clock.
So that's about 3.5 hours to go 3.5 miles. So not too bad considering the terrain that I've done. And I stopped to film some elk, talked to a couple of hikers, stopped at Theodore, the hidden gem in the forest, and I am heading down this way, past the cairn, supposedly about 30 yards south and east of that trail junction is supposed to be Oak Springs, supposed to be fairly reliable, and we have snow. So I had 3 people that came down here as far as the spring, and they just were down here, turned around and headed back. And they said they've done this a little bit, about 8 times, but they said that I was brave for coming out here on my own, wanted to know what app I was using, gut hooks, and they said please follow me on YouTube, Ewoks in the Woods, Space Cairn. There's a nice little spot inside there, possibly a tent. Oh. So 30 yards south and east. I thought that I would have already done that by now. Some spots to maybe sit down here, take a break. Sure not seeing the spring yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here and see if I can use the gut hooks and see if I can locate it. Okay, so lots of flat area, places to camp, a little campfire, some snow. I'm about ready to start melting it, but then I saw this sign that says Oak Spring. So I think down here is Oak Spring. Wow, that is a tree. Whew. Maybe this is the part where it's 30 yards off the trail. Oh yes, and there's water. Hallelujah. So I am going to camel up, as they say. Oh yes. And I am going to drink and fill some water. Thank you, Lord. Okay, I just filled up 2 1-liter smart water bottles. My other one, which is about a half a liter, I guess, and then my gray owl is also full. I never got into that one, which has the pop top. So that one's not quite a full liter, a little bit under. It's 700 milliliters. So the next definite reliable source is in 15 miles. There's a couple of possibles. I do have a possibility of filling up one more bottle, so I just don't know whether or not if I want to do it or not. I'll look and see. Okay, back on trail after filling up all the water and getting something to eat. And I thought I might see snow, just not today. Not 3.5, 4 hours into a hike. I really didn't think so. And the thing is I'm supposed to only be at like 1,700 feet right here. If gut hooks is accurate, which I don't think so because I thought pine was a lot more. But when I go into the GPS satellite mode, the topography map is definitely come up with something different than what I saw at home. So anyway, it's gonna be interesting the next couple of days, I guess. Put the phone away. One big cairn. The trail is in between there, and I just scrambled up through so many bushes and snarls and crags, and I went all the way down to that Oak Creek spring and then all the way back up. And one more big cairn. But what I'm looking for right now is someplace in the shade and I can sit down for a minute and guzzle about a liter of water. So, revising how far I think I might get today. I'll be lucky if I get 10 miles today. Never worked so hard in about a year. I had an out that the last 2 weeks I've been off from work. So, let me put the camera away, see if I can find some place to sit down. Actually, this plant right here in the shade looks really good.